Mikel Arteta is the most dangerous man in world football right now, and you will understand after this video. We all know Mikel Arteta was a former player of Everton before joining Arsenal, and then retired at Arsenal, became assistant coach for Pep Guardiola, and now the current manager of Arsenal Football Club. But how did he know Pep Guardiola, Xavi Alonso, Victor Valdes, Ronaldinho? How did he know JJ Okocha, Xavi Alonso, Nicolas Anelka, Xavi Hernandez? How did he know all these people, including Luis Van Gaal? How did he know all these people? And hold on. Before we get into this, listen, if you're excited as I am, please smash that subscribe button, hit the post notification bell, and don't forget to leave your thoughts down below. So Arteta and Xavi Alonso are actually childhood friends. They come from the same city in Spain, and they were in the same academy called, that is, Antigue. That was the name of the academy that they were both at a very young age. And their dream was to join Real Sociedad. Now, the reason why their dream was to join Real Sociedad is Antigue was a club feeder to Real Sociedad. So it means that if you are good enough, then you get to go to Real Sociedad or even a much bigger team. So their childhood dreams was to join Real Sociedad. In 1997, Mikel Arteta had a trial with the Barcelona team, and then he got his first contract and joined the Barcelona Team B. It was then that he started occasionally training with the Barcelona first team. That was when he met Xavi Alonso, Iniesta, Pep Guardiola. He met other top name in the Barcelona first team, Victor Valdes and so on. But for him as a kid to get an opportunity in the first team was basically impossible. Now the reason was that there was a change in administration, which means Van Gaal, who was the then manager, was no more there. There was a new manager who basically came in with different set of players in his midfield. That means that Mikel Arteta was further lowered down the pedigree in terms of those who were even likely to get the opportunity at the first team. But he had the potential, so he had to go on loan. He went to the Scottish side, Rangers. He joined, that is, Real Sociedad, and finally made a move to Everton. But remember, he already knew Xavi Alonso as a kid when they were playing together. He had met that Victor Valdes. He spent years in the Barca academy, so he's met these people: Victor Valdes, Xavi Hernandez, Andre Iniesta, Pep Guardiola. He's met all these players, but because of his loan spells, he went on loan at PSG, Rangers, Real Sociedad. It was at PSG that he met JJ Okocha, Ronaldinho, Nicolas Anelka, and so on. So he also met those sets of talent. Now, what you get exposed to after going on loan is that you get exposed to various philosophies of coaching and playing styles. So finally, he ended up at Everton and then moved on to Arsenal when he was 29 years. When he got to Arsenal, he fell in love with the club. That even after his retirement, the club wanted him to take over, that is, the Arsenal academy. But then he had three options at hand. One of the options was either take over the Arsenal academy. Second was join, that is, Mauricio Pochettino, who was also his teammate when he was loaned to PSG, at Spurs. And as an Arsenal fan, there is no way, if you love Arsenal Football Club, you are going to serve as an assistant coach at Spurs. The animosity between Arsenal and Spurs. So the third option was to join Pep Guardiola, who he had a relationship with since his Barcelona time. Pep Guardiola saw something in Mikel Arteta. There was a Champions League match between Barcelona and Chelsea. Pep Guardiola called Mikel Arteta to take information on Chelsea. And the way Mikel Arteta broke down the details or broke down the structure of Chelsea's gameplay to Pep Guardiola knew that Mikel Arteta has the coaching abilities in him. So as soon as he retired, 2016, Pep Guardiola offered him that option to become his assistant at Manchester City. Now, these three options, as I said, was take over the Arsenal academy. Two was to join Mauricio Pochettino as Spurs as assistant coach. and 3 was to join Manchester City under Pep Guardiola and also be an assistant manager. He took that as the last option, which was to join Pep Guardiola at Man City to become that is an assistant manager to one of the most prominent coaches in world football. Here's the twist. After his retirement, Arsenal never won a game against Manchester City. The last time Arsenal won a game before Arteta took over Arsenal was when Arsenal beat Pep Guardiola's side or Manchester City's side in the 2014-2015 season, where we beat them 3-0 and won the Community Shield. Arteta was still the player at Arsenal Football Club. Now, throughout the time he spent at Man City up until the time that he took over Arsenal, Arsenal Football Club did not win a single match against Manchester City. And throughout his time there, anytime Arsenal faced Manchester City and Manchester City scored a goal, he never celebrated. Pep Guardiola himself has said in multiple videos that there is only one club that when they scored against Mikel Arteta never celebrated, and that was Arsenal Football Club.
I remember that when we were together here, when we scored a lot of goals with our opponents, always he jumped and celebrated, except one team. In one team, every time I scored a goal, I jumped, come back, he was sitting there. It was Arsenal. So in that moment I said, oh, that guy likes Arsenal.
It was then that he knew that this man loves this Arsenal Football Club. So when the opportunity presented itself, as when Arsenal was looking for a coach or a manager, Mikel Arteta discussed it with Pep Guardiola that he would like to take up that position. He left and took over that job, and the rest is history. Now, the reason why Mikel Arteta is the most dangerous man in world football, you would understand in a moment. He's gone under different coaches where he's learned, as in Wenger, Louis van Gaal. He's gone under very top coaches, different clubs, PSG, Rangers, Everton, Sociedad, Barcelona. He's had all this inculcated in him. Now, after understudying Pep Guardiola for years, Mikel Arteta had his own weapon. That was a complete monstrous defense, a complete monstrous midfield, and a very trickery attack. And he was going to build this team based on players who are hungry to play for the club, not on names. Players who are hungry and desires to play for this football club. Before Mikel Arteta took over, Arsenal were complete crap.
You may not know right where you're going, but I do. Wasn't chosen. Well, I'll make it up to all of the and all that you are. I have stars in noon. I do.
I mean, our defense, we had Mustafi, Koscielny, Socrates Papastatopoulos. In our midfield, we had Francis Coquelin. You can look at the type of midfield that Arsenal had. Lucas Torreira. This was the kind of players that Arsenal Football Club had, and these players were not. They had enough. They'd had enough of losing, and they had, for some reason, conformed to the losing title. So Arsenal were now not even a top 4 club, were rather a top 6. When this man took over, one of the statements he made was that Arsenal, we have lost our roots, because he knows the Arsenal that we were, because he's played for the club, he's shed blood for this club, he's won trophies with this club, and he knows the club history more than anybody who was currently at the club. The part where it still baffles me is that Pep Guardiola knew that Mikel Arteta was going to eventually overcome him and be his toughest opponent in the Premier League. He knew that.
For the future, Arsenal gave it a message, and we take it.
Do you expect them to continue being your closest challengers?
I have a few certain things in my life, like is I wake up in the morning and I'm going to sleep in the night. This is going to happen until the rest of my life. They are certain, with the age they have, with the manager they have, with they were playing the last 2 seasons, they will stay here for a long, long time. That's why we get the message. They will take our position. So I think our chemistry or when we were together, I felt it.
He granted interviews where he said that, multiple times that Arsenal should give Mikel Arteta the chance. And when they do, they will see what he will bring to this football club. And now, Arsenal football fans, Arsenal club are reaping the benefits of being patient with Mikel Arteta. He doesn't have the best squad. If you're looking at the squad that he has, he's had a squad depth, but not in attack. Yet, this team is performing amazingly, both in the Premier League and in the European League as well. We might be saying that he has not won the league yet, but look at where Arsenal was up to where Arsenal is currently. If it wasn't for how dangerous this man is, Arsenal Football Club will not be in the position to win over Real Madrid, both home and away. And now on a pathway to a Champions League title. Listen, people, Mikel Arteta deserves every credit that he has received. He is the one who put together this football club up to where it is now.
It doesn't matter what you say, now it's too late. We were horrible with the fucking ball. We had no organization, we have nothing. We could have conceded 8 goals. And if you see the chances, you will cry. It's not the way we have competed, it's we didn't compete at all in the game. It's fucking embarrassing to come here and walk the way we've done it. Embarrassing, guys.
We need some stability. We don't need any of this. I was annoyed there were so many people trying to fracture the group. The only guys you can trust are the ones in the room with you. But onward we go.
And it's about time that Arsenal Football Club supports this man. All those who keep on saying Mikel Arteta out, which manager would you replace him with? Name one manager who will do better with this kind of attack that we have. Name one manager who will be able to figure out that Mikel Merino can fit in the boots of a number 9 when we have all our attackers injured or our strikers injured. Mention one manager. It is about time that Arsenal Football Club respects Mikel Arteta, because he has not only won the fans over for this football club, he has earned the maximum respect. The Mikel Arteta who was able to transform Granit Xhaka, hot-headed Granit Xhaka, to a respected Granit Xhaka who had a standing ovation on his return to the Emirates. The Mikel Arteta who was able to put on the bench top names like Mesut Ozil and Aubameyang. This man must be respected. Listen, if you've watched this video up to this point, make sure you leave your thoughts in the comment section if he is still the right manager for this football club. This is the Den of Soccer. This is the uncensored opinion of football fans, and we are